Yep. Another back on the hair. What? Anyway, so a little different discussion video here. More about like broader just gaming as a whole. And it's just not looking really good right now. Alright, so let's break it down in different, sections. And first thing I really want to focus on is software. Pretty much games themselves. Basically, with the whole Xbox news and stuff like that, and just where games are nowadays, at least in the AAA space, it's insane. Budgets for these games have just grown to levels that are just obscene, for the most part. Obviously, there's some of these games that their budgets make sense. They will move X amount of millions of units guaranteed because of what they are, mainly a franchise that is either live service or has such notoriety that it's just gonna sell. Wolverine is going to sell so many copies because of what it is. You can argue all day, all night and day if the game's gonna be good or not. I think personally, I am interested, but also very cautiously optimistic with the way Spider-Man 2 turned out. It's a whole nother story. But the whole point is, with the whole Xbox things that happened this week, we have seen some of these reported budgets of The Outer Worlds 2, supposedly $100 million. I don't know how good the first one did, but that just sounds kind of crazy considering like Ghost of Yote and Tsushima. At least Tsushima was, I think, 60-something mil, and it turned out to be a fantastic success in terms of sales, but also, pretty cool game too. But you get my point. And then somehow, South of Midnight, or Midnight of the South or whatever, that somehow had the same amount of money behind it. If I'm not mistaken, Outer Worlds 2 is like a nice, big chunky RPG game, man. The first one was like you get some time into it and like had a lot of roleplay systems, yada yada. And that South of Midnight was just like a little indie looking game. Y'all are laundering money back there. But you get my point. These budgets, for the most part, are unsustainable for these kind of games, bro. You're gonna get your caveats here and there. You're gonna get your GTA. That, obviously, the idea that they're like, oh my god, it's the most expensive game ever. It doesn't matter. GTA 5 has funded 3 GTA 6s, dog. Like, it doesn't matter, dog. But, whatever. The other side of it. Yeah, they cost a lot, and they always say it's because of how many people and how long they make it. But also, you could see the mismanagement of funds are in play here as well. If that game has a $100 million budget, where the fuck's the money going? It's going to dumb shit, man. Or, like I said, my theory, money laundering. But when you look at something like Fable, that thing's been in development for, it feels like at least a decade at this point. I don't know how long. But also you have fucking Hollywood actors in your fucking shit. God of War Lao Fei, I think it's gonna sell a lot. I don't know. It all depends. Honestly, if it was like a fucking Miles Morales type situation, or it was a $50 title and a smaller scale title, I think it would do really well. But it definitely seems like they're making it like it's going to be the next big game, $70 game that is, gonna be, I don't know, man. That, when you got that being the whole theme of the game, and you're paying fucking Jack Quaid to be a fucking cube, and he's mo-capping the cube. He has fucking poles around him to see the cube. Why? What the fuck? Alright, another thing is, at this point, competition is at the highest it's ever been in video games. There's too many options, you can argue. Especially this year alone. There's always, as much as people want to harp on how bad gaming is nowadays, there's something for everybody. You can argue if it's like dog shit and slop or whatever, but I mean, shit, dude, this year alone has been there's so many games I am interested in, and it's to the points where it's like, it's not if I want it or not, it's when I'm gonna get it. there's only a handful of games that I think deserve to be bought day one and shit like that. And games I'll get at a sale or, you know, whatever. There's so much variety and volume of stuff that it's really going to be tough for, you know, these smaller studios. They need to fucking find a niche in the market to survive when you're going against all these juggernauts that are probably not even going to make their money back. But yeah, just insane all around. That's pretty much all I could really talk about with where we're at with the software side of all this. But excuse me, I want to move on to the hardware. All right, hardware. PlayStation 6, Xbox, whatever, and then for the sake of argument, Steam Machine. All in a very interesting position, to say at the very least. Actually, since with the great news today, let's look at the Steam Machine. Alright, I don't know when the thing even drops, but the Steam Machine's official pricing, $1,049, without a controller, by the way, with 512 gigabytes of storage. With controller, $1,128. 2 terabytes without a controller, $349, or $1349, yeah. And then 2 terabytes with a controller, $1,428. Pretty much $1,500 for 2 terabytes with a controller in 2026 for a system that I've been seeing on Twitter has been outperformed by a base PS5 and even Series S in certain circumstances, but that's all caveats. I'm pretty sure the Series or the Steam Machine, I'm pretty sure you can, you know, change settings like a PC and whatever. I don't care. Point is, it is similar in performance to a base PS5. So you're paying that premium on Steam, which even as someone that doesn't even have Steam, that's a pretty big value add in my opinion. Like I said, just having Steam alone, is it worth that price premium? Fuck no, I ain't buying that shit. I'm waiting for shit anyway. But also, you don't have to pay for fucking internet. That's pretty, you know, normal. But whatever. Either way, that's Steam Machine. PC's obviously always going to just be what PC is. Just, you know, the way, pretty much the go, you know, overall. But for consoles, that's what we're really talking about here. And, you know, despite, you know, PC having the most players and shit and all that, at the end of the day, it's because of consoles, you know, that's how games are being made for the most part. I don't know, it's gonna be flamed or whatever, but I think you're understanding. I hope you have the intelligence to grasp what I mean by that. See how I worded that to make it seem like if you disagreed with what I said, you're retarded. Alright, but anyway, so PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox. Whew, a nice uphill battle they got. Honestly, it would be not even that much of an uphill battle if they just price it accordingly. It's only insane because of the theory we have, I mean just going off of what's going on now, but if they just bit the bullet and said, yeah, PlayStation 6 is going to be the best bang for your buck you'll ever have, we're launching it at $699 and it outpaces most PC shit, especially considering we have our AI chip in it. Obviously, pipe dream, whatever, but I don't think it's that far off, mainly because of one thing. As far as we know, the Xbox isn't going this route. They're going like a hybrid PC, almost like the Steam Machine thingy, but PS6 is going to be a standard console. It's going to have supposedly a handheld thing too, and potentially that means multiple whatever. But the point is, it's going to be a console that is designed and proposed to sell tens of millions of units. Do they think they can get away with a $1,200 console to sell that many? Maybe, but I like to be hopeful and cope with the fact of we need to be the best pricing for, you know, the millions of units we want to get. You need to get people interested in the system, and nothing is a bigger turnoff than a fat ass price tag on a system that no one really even cares about. Like, everyone doesn't care. Everybody don't need it. Everyone says delay it. So you gotta come out with either just a very strong price point that gets people going like, hold up, what the fuck now? And then you better have some software for it that's only playable on that software. And if you're missing both those things, shit, dude, I fucking hope you're offering 0% interest financing options at that point. Ugh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, fuck yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, I know, being a little lighthearted about it, and it's all doom and gloomy, whatever. But, hey, at the end of the day, they have to earn our money. You just gotta remember that. Don't just go and buy it. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, and I feel like for the most part, people understand it and utilize that idea, but yeah. Very interesting world we're in here in terms of video games, and honestly, it's just going to be a very interesting next year and a half to see how this is all going to play out and what the strategies of all these companies are going to be. And honestly, my eyes are just on Xbox right now with how crazy it's been this past week, at least rumor-wise, of what's going on over there. And yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled, everybody. Storms aren't only brewing now. Alright, I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, lift weights.